I would do some archbishop. Been a school them from when me in a khaki shop. Liverpool couldn't test the way me raw sit up quick draw. Him drop and can't get up, him not fast enough for my problem that you never solve. Send for the Dan brace for a firestorm, cause I turn into a monster. Ready for the war, better with your black. None of them boy, they no bad. None of them boy, they no bad. Bad pants in our to some archbishop. Them no bad. School them from me in a darkish. Them no bad. Cool good. They with me rasty. Drop. If I can't beat up, no fast enough for my bab. That you never saw. Send for the brand race for your firestorm. Cause I turn into a monster. Ready for the war. Better with your phone. None of them boy, they no bad. Left a mark, young gog on a regular. Me say them hardly ready. Them a new type of artillery. We a bus and a Tom and Jerry. Out the blue I hit you with an airstrike. They not bad like me air nice. It's a rare sight, yeah. Steady aim with precision. Make the vision with a clear sight. Better go get your affairs right. Them boy, they not bad. None of them boy, they no bad. Road back, live with my bar. If you mark, them no bad. On a regular, we see them hard, them no bad. It's me a new type of artillery. We a bust, and a Tom and Jerry. Out the blue, you with the airstrike, they no bad. It's me air nice, clear sight. Steady aim, they no bad. And it's the vision with a clear sight. Better get your fit, them boy, they no bad.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the Indy Boys Racing Podcast, the number one podcast on the planet, as we hope and as we know. Man, what a weekend of racing. I'm joined with my incredible co-hosts, Daniel Cheney and Justin Cox, and my name is Tristan Greider. How are we doing today?
Oh, man, I'm all right. I kind of was late on making the thumbnail because my ADHD was getting the best of me, but other than that, I'm doing pretty good. I've been all right. Unfortunately, I will not be attending Toronto this weekend. I did not get my passport in time, so I will not to go to Toronto. So
no,
but oh well,
it's okay. We got Indy in a couple weeks, and you're probably gonna go to Nashville too. So I mean, like you got so, enough. So,
hopefully, but
Dan, how about you?
I've been chilling. It's been I don't know, boring week or so. IndyCar's back, and then after IndyCar's back this weekend, we don't have to wait another week because it's already going to be back. It's cinema, absolute cinema. So I can't complain too much.
Yeah, I've had a pretty nice day today. It's always a good day, when Michael McDowell finishes in the top 5. And so we had to bust out the beautiful Michael McDowell rookie shirt for today. I copped this boy at Mid-Ohio. Shout out to Daniel Cheney for finding this shirt for me.
I literally just saw Michael McDowell's face, and I was like, Tristan.
Yeah.
They did have it in my size. So this is going to be cherished. Hopefully, if I get to interview McDowell again, I'm going to wear it, and then I can get him to just take a picture with me with it or something like that. I don't know. But I don't know. They probably did because he didn't race that many races in the 00, which is why this shirt is crazy. Because everyone remembers Michael McDowell for his flip in the 00, but it's pretty cool. So speaking of Michael,
I always thought that was David Rudiman though.
Nah, man, Mikey McDowell.
Really? Damn.
Yeah.
Huh.
But Anyway, but speaking of Michael McDowell, that boy just put himself in the playoff picture. He's 3 points above Bubba Wallace now on the playoff cut line. We're going to talk all things NASCAR. We have a lot of NASCAR news to talk about, especially with Ross Chastain and Corey LaJoie. However, we have the biggest news probably all season in the Formula One circuit with Daniel Ricciardo. We're going to talk all about that and also talk about the McLaren magic that went on this weekend. And then Daniel has some IndyCar news with Meyer Shank Racing. So let's go ahead and get started with do we want to start with NASCAR news, I guess, if that works?
Matter to me.
Let's go ahead and start with NASCAR news.
Let's go.
All right, everybody. So first thing I'm going to be talking about is Marco Andretti. So normally Marco Andretti, a former full-time and IndyCar driver who currently now only does the Indy 500, most recently did a race at Mid-Ohio on Saturday, finished pretty decently inside the top 20, and announced at post-race that he is not ruling out full-time NASCAR racing in 2024. The 2022 SRX champion is really looking to have more NASCAR starts this season, and we could see him possibly next race at the Indy road course. So don't count out Marco Andretti for a possible cup ride, possible Xfinity Series starts in the future. Next up, this weekend we're racing at New Hampshire, and Rick Ware Racing has announced a full driver change with former Cup Series drivers. Ryan Newman and Cole Custer will both race this weekend for Rick Ware. Now, of course,
Nice.
Cole Custer, we have known that Cole Custer is doing a 3-race deal with Rick Ware Racing and could possibly be in that car for the remainder of the season. But Ryan Newman is back for his 3rd start with Rick Ware Racing this weekend at New Hampshire. Also, really quickly, shout out to JJ Yaley, who put that 15 car in 7th place, his best result since 2013. Making me happy, making me smile. Just saying. Shout out to JJ Yaley. Not Rick Ware Racing's best finish of the year. Actually, I don't even think of the year, but a great finish nonetheless for the 7 car. I'm just saying, BJ McLeod, he was surprising me as well, too. He ended up finishing in the back 20, but for a while there, he was running 10th, and I was like,
what the heck?
I was like,
I was like, wait a
we'll
minute.
talk all about this, how this Atlanta race was freaking glorious and how it was abbreviated, sadly, but it was great. Next news, Corey LaJoie is finalizing a contract extension with Spire Motorsports. Now, apparently, the driver of the 7 had multiple contracts. He had multiple teams interested in him. Now, those haven't been revealed, but that could mean like a Stuart Haas Racing, maybe a Front Row Motorsports contacted the driver of the 7. But here's the thing. This isn't just like a 1-year deal. We've seen LaJoie on 1-year deals. This is a multi-year extension. That sometimes multi means 2, sometimes it means 3. What does LaJoie know? What does he know?
What does he know?
He could know that Andretti Autosport is planning on buying into NASCAR, and now that Gamebridge is the sponsor, which is the title sponsor of Andretti Autosport, just saying, Corey LaJoie might be making his way into the NASCAR Cup Series pretty dang soon. Not Corey LaJoie, Andretti Autosport may be making his to the Cup Series, and I like that. Then we have some sponsorship news. Ross Chastain will be the next person for Anheuser-Busch to represent on their car. This is full sponsorship for Ross Chastain in 2024. You'll be seeing Busch colors on the Ross Chastain #1 machine for most of the season next year. So shout out to Ross Chastain. Got himself some good sponsorship. One of the main faces of the NASCAR Cup Series, as I would say right now. And it's good to see, because I like to bring this up, 5 years ago, he was driving for Premium Motorsports. So shout out to Ross Chastain. And then finally, we have some ARCA Menards series news. Now, we don't normally cover ARCA on this show, but a pretty big thing happened this weekend at Mid-Ohio. Driver Sean Hingorani, who is going to be suspended for the next ARCA race at Iowa Speedway. They're going to be at Iowa the exact same weekend that IndyCar, I believe, is at Iowa. And an on-track incident happened with him and Truck Series regular Dean Thompson. Thompson and Hingorani made contact early in the race, which caused both drivers to spin, and the 16-year-old Hingorani did not forget that. And then on the final lap, when Thompson was running in 2nd place, Hingorani was multiple laps down. Hingorani caused his car to intentionally make contact with Thompson, beaching both of them and taking them both out of the race. Now, this violated section 12-8.1 with references to arc that you have to leave the space, and that it references that you cannot intentionally wreck another vehicle, and removing a driver from contention while not racing for position, and waiting for another competitor taking action. So pretty much, boy got caught and got suspended. And apparently, this wasn't the first time that this happened this race, as he took out another series regular as well. So yeah, all right, to this guy's career. So we'll see how this goes. But he is suspended at Iowa. I mean, what you gonna do, right? I mean, don't intentionally wreck people. Anyway, that's all the NASCAR news I have here. Daniel, you want to go in and talk Meyershank Racing?
Yes, sir. Okay, so IndyCar, we really only have one bit of news, but it could be bigger news than we think. So Simon Pagenaud, as some of you guys probably know, at Mid-Ohio, he had a crash in practice, flipped about 6.5, 7 times, and he could not race that weekend. They had to replace him with Connor Daly because he was pretty much just on standby that whole weekend.
Bro was just there.
Yeah, he was just there, and they're like, well, you want to race for us? And he's like, I mean, yeah.
Don't have my helmet or my seat.
But this weekend at Toronto, they're not sticking with Connor Daly, and nor has Meyershank Racing or IndyCar cleared Simon Pagenaud. Originally, they said he would most likely be cleared by Toronto, but turns out he's not clear because they are going to put Tom Blomqvist in that 60 machine in Toronto. And I'm really excited for this because we've seen the rumors that it's basically a done deal that he's going to take over one of the cars at Meyershank next year. So I think this just further proves it. If you guys don't know who he is, he's pretty much Meyershank's big driver in the IMSA series. So I think he's very talented. I'm really excited to see what he does. What do you guys think about this one-time potential move that is probably hinting towards the future of their team?
It's hinting to, like you said, I was going to say it's going to turn into a future thing. It's not just going to be one time. I feel like this is going to happen regularly. So you're muted, Tristan, by the way. Tristan, you're muted, bud.
You're muted, bud.
Sorry, I forgot that I was muted. It kind of reminds me about how Christian Lundgaard made the start for Rahal Letterman Lanigan. So, I mean, it's like Blomqvist, we already probably know this is a done deal. So, I mean, it's pretty cool. And as you both said, future implications. So, I like the move. So, and I was watching IMSA and he was freaking leading. So, I mean, like, come on.
Boy's good. Boy's good. He's talented.
The boy.
So I'm interested to see what this means about Simon Pagenaud. Hopefully the concussion or whatever he has currently isn't too serious. I'd hate to see some sort of like a Kurt Busch situation where it kind of derails his season and potentially his career for a little bit. But I don't want to look into that too much just because we don't really know. But that is going to be happening this weekend at Toronto.
Alrighty, well that's all of the Xfinity series, of all of the IndyCar series news that we have. So Jay, bring us to the formulas.
Oh my goodness gracious, brother! All right, so we're gonna start off. We're gonna go into some Formula E. The Formula E, yes. So this weekend is race week for Formula E in Rome. To catch all the practice sessions, these are on our times. 7:14, you have practice 1 at 11 to 11:45. Practice 2 is on 7:15, 2:10 to 2:55. Qualifying on 7:15 as well, 4:40 p.m. to 5:55 p.m. And the race is also on the same day as qualifying and free practice too, which it kind of usually is. It's 9:03 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. So, yeah. So make sure you check out the Formula E race this weekend because Formula E has been banger all season. I just want you guys to know that. Please check out the Formula E race. So, but yeah. Next up, let's get into Formula One. I'll talk about F2 podiums when we get to reviewing Silverstone. So starting off, there's some news from Helmut Marko. He says that Sergio Perez will not be replaced after this season. So Sergio Perez has had kind of mid-season droughts throughout his career, per se. He has them quite regularly. regularly. That's how you say it. Yeah. So he's had them quite regularly, and he's having one currently, and everybody's like, "Oh my God, Sergio Perez is gonna get replaced." But I mean, it wouldn't have surprised me because it happens every season. I mean, you cannot count on the Perez drought. Like, you can count on the Perez drought happening. I'm just saying, as a Sergio Perez fan, like I trust me, I know the pain, and I'm feeling it right now. But that's okay because Helmut Marko says his position is not at risk at all. And that is also how Perez himself sees it. The whole team is behind him, and he knows what he can do, and he knows his own potential. So it's up to Perez to improve the driving. I would say that if by the end of the season nothing's changed and he's still not getting any Q3s, he's still getting low point scoring positions, not podiums, then we could probably have more of a discussion about that. But I think right now we're going to be fine. Because usually, like I said, it's a Perez drought mid-season, and it just kind of happens all the time. Like, every season it's
It
happening.
happened last season as well. I mean, after Monaco, the guy kind of fell off a cliff. So,
Yeah. So, I don't know.
And somehow climbed back up.
for real.
Yeah. This past, or today, actually, I believe it was.
Yeah, today.
Daniel Ricciardo actually hopped into a Red Bull car, and he had started testing, or it might have been yesterday. I can't remember.
It was
But
today.
It was
Yeah.
today. Wow.
Yeah. And then 2 hours later, he got announced. So
No, not yet. I'm not. I'm leaving that for last. I'm leaving that. For
I haven't said it yet. Don't worry.
Okay. So, Daniel Ricciardo hopped into a car today for Red Bull for a tire test at Silverstone, and he was only a little under a second off Max's pole time on those tires, and that was a very competitive time given the certain circumstances with the environment, the track temperature such. The tires, they're running no tire blankets. They're testing those out because that's how F1's going to be in the future, is there's going to be no tire blankets at all. So he hopped in, had a very, very solid test. And actually, I'm just gonna go ahead and go into it. Today, it was decided that Daniel Ricciardo is going to officially replace Nick De Vries at AlphaTauri. Nick De Vries. Nick De Vries lasted 10 races at AlphaTauri.
Me when I'm Nick De Vries and I'm in F1.
But we've seen this happen at Red Bull and their sister team a lot. All this jostling around. Pierre Gasly, Daniel Ricciardo, bunch of guys.
Alex
Albon, all in that ladder kind of get juggled around and moved around. So it's not necessarily a surprise. And I think, honestly, this is kind of what stems into the Perez, like, the situation with him.
Yeah, I saw a meme today, and it was dominoes falling, and it was angry Alex Albon appendix, and then it was a domino, and then the last domino was Daniel Ricciardo to AlphaTauri.
Oh, God. No way. But yeah, so how are we feeling about this, guys? Is this a good move? Should AlphaTauri, I mean, I guess technically in a way Red Bull should have waited for the end of the season to replace Nick De Vries?
No, definitely not. I mean, I can go first with this because I have a lot of opinions on this situation. So
yeah,
I
want to
mean,
hear.
personally, Nick De Vries has not performed well in the seat. Now, I get the AlphaTauri is probably the worst car on the grid.
Is the worst.
It is terrible. However, Yuki Tsunoda in the exact same car is getting points, finishing in the top 15, and De Vries just isn't doing that. And I mean, I don't think people are expecting AlphaTauri's equipment to go out there and win like Pierre Gasly did at Monza, right? But they're at least expecting them to try to consistently get points. You know what I mean? Like, the thing is, De Vries, I get that he's a Formula E champion. He's a Formula 2 champion. He's got all this experience, right? He has not performed, and it might be the equipment itself, but you're trash, kid. And so, like,
trash kid.
And I think that if you bring in a veteran like AlphaTauri wanted to, like Daniel Ricciardo, all you can have are positives. Do I think Ricciardo stays in this AlphaTauri seat next season? Probably not. But I think it's good to have a nice veteran presence for at least the remainder of the season with a driver that has won races in F1 and is consistently competed for championships. So I think this is a good move. And plus, it's Red Bull calling the shots. It's not AlphaTauri. So, I mean, if they think Ricciardo can do better than De Vries can or than Liam Lawson can, then give it your best shot.
Yeah. Daniel.
I'm conflicted on this one. Because, yes, Nick De Vries has not performed this season. But at the same time, by Nick De Vries basically getting sacked, it kind of sets the precedent that there's really no such thing as, like, a set-in-stone rookie. Because he's a rookie this season,
But
and he
that's
just got
how-
bagged after half the season.
That's how it works in F1, though. If you are not
I know, but-
performing,
I mean,
You
Oscar
will be
Piastri
replaced.
just got 4th place and has been consistently finishing 8th to 11th place each
Third.
week.
He's not
Yeah,
in
he
an
was
AlphaTauri.
he podiumed.
He's not in an
I know,
AlphaTauri.
but still, it's a McLaren, which at the beginning of the season was just as bad. So, I mean, like, you compare the two cars. I mean,
Yeah, I don't know.
and at least
Like, I
Logan
get-
Sargent,
I
I bet
get
that Logan
why-
Sargent hasn't
Who? Who?
Look- I get that the American Williams driver hasn't performed as well. But he's also in a Williams. But the Williams has shown that it's not the worst car this season. And he literally just put it into Q2, something that De Vries has not done, I believe, all season. So, I mean, you weigh the two options and
Yeah, but so
Compare.
I see it like I get your point, Daniel, and I didn't mean to interrupt you. I'll let you finish. It's just in F1, if you're not performing, the sport is evolving so much. There's no time to slow down for a driver that's not performing. I mean, like now
Right.
Logan Sargent, he has
Who?
not.
Who?
He has not. He has not been. He has not been the most out there person. You know what I'm saying? Like he's not been out there like Albon has. And I like you can say that's expected as a rookie. You can expect that of De Vries as well. But De Vries has not done good at all. He's not advanced to
Yeah.
sneak Q2s.
literally
He's not finished high up in practice sessions. Like he's not done anything. Like so
he is officially last in points now, no longer tied with Sargent just because Sargent put it into Q2. Okay, I'm done.
I'm done.
Okay,
I'm a rule of
But-
three when it comes to comedy.
sorry,
yeah,
Daniel. But go ahead and finish, Daniel. I'll let
Yeah,
you-
since now De Vries is literally last in points because Sargent put it into the number 2 car, put it into since he put it into Q2, he gets like I guess I don't know how that really works, but he's now higher in points. I don't know, even though they both had 0 points. But
But
I don't
Daniel, go ahead and finish your statement. You were doing.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just conflicted about it because, like, while I get that it's just a normal thing in the sport, I don't think it has to be. I think that if a driver's not performing, especially in their rookie season, you might as well let them ride out the rest of the season because you never know. Maybe a track later down the line they're going to be good at, and then you can kind of figure out what to do with that progress once you're there. If you just like completely ditch a driver halfway through the season, especially in their rookie year, I just don't like. I think that's a flaw in the development. You're not going to be able to develop people if you just try them out for a few races. I'm like, actually, we don't want them. I don't know.
I mean,
I think it's flawed. But let's be real. Let's be real. Before I let you go on, the only reason it's Daniel Ricciardo is because of contractual reasons they can't have Alex Palou this season. Let's be real.
honestly, possibly I could see it. But in F1, you got to think about it as well. If you're not performing on the same level as your teammate, then you're probably gonna get booted at some point. And that can go to say for a lot of people.
I could go the
Joe-
same for literally Checo, even though they confirmed that he. I mean, it's the same car. I'm sorry, it is the same car, and Max is dominating like this. I get he only won by 3 seconds over Lando, but still, like,
But I mean, like you can argue Piastri at Austria, but
Yeah.
he was running a different aero kit, so that was a different car than what Lando was running. So it also based on your teammate's performance versus yours. So it's not necessarily just a personal thing. It's not necessarily just a car thing. You have the same car more than likely as your teammate. Maybe different setup tweaks for different drivers, of course. You need to be performing as well as your teammate. That's how it goes in F1. If you're not performing as well as your teammate or better, then you're more than likely going to get sacked. And DeVries has not competed with Tsunoda, I don't believe at all.
Unless you're Lance Stroll.
Yeah.
Daddy's money.
Daddy.
But unless like Tsunoda has had something go wrong with his car or something, or he's had damage and had to go to the back, that's the only time I think DeVries has been on the same level as Tsunoda.
Right.
More than likely.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you at all. I don't know. I'm conflicted on it because I get why they got rid of him, and like I don't fully blame them. I'm just disappointed that like they couldn't at least just try it out the rest of the season because I just think it's a flawed strategy in my opinion.
Do you think that DeVries his career in Formula One is over?
Yeah.
Because you think it's completely done?
As a full-time driver, yeah. Could he be a reserve driver? Probably.
Because there are probably going to be some more seats that are opening next season. I mean, I guarantee you Kevin Magnussen is gone at the end of the season for Haas, and then
someone that has not been performing as well as his teammate.
That's true. I mean, Hulkenberg literally has been qualifying in the top 5 almost every other race. So I get that K-Mag got you that pole last year, but like
that only rides so far, bud.
That's true.
But yeah, final thing for Formula One, and then we can move on. Red Bull wants to significantly reduce its junior team squad size for 2022. Currently, there are 12 juniors signed across various racing categories, and Red Bull only wants to invest in promising juniors rather than just having people. Like they wanna specifically put their money towards people. And I do agree with Devontae in the chat. I do believe DeVries needs to come and try IndyCar out.
I agree. I think he would have. I mean, he's been no, but here's the thing, Daniel. I mean, according to Tony, DeVries has been in conversation, and Marshall Pruitt. DeVries has been in conversation to get an IndyCar seat with multiple teams. If I had to guess, Meyer-Shank Racing would be one of those teams that's looking at DeVries, and possibly maybe Andretti, which is technically Meyer-Shank is technically Andretti as well. But I mean, like these are
sorta.
This isn't surprising to me.
Yeah, but then again, you know who else was in conversations to go to IndyCar? Nicholas Latifi. So like, what are we saying?
No, that wasn't ever a thing actually.
It was rumored.
Nope, that was never.
No, that wasn't like really a rumor. That was just kind of one person that
That was someone speculating. That wasn't even like a legitimate rumor. I talked to Marshall Pruitt about that actually.
Yeah, I wonder who's the person that said that. Anyway, it wasn't me, but I reported on it just because I saw it.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, you know exactly who I'm talking about. The king of hot takes right there.
Yeah. But
if that's all the formula.
That is all the formulas.
That's all the formula he has, and I'm not talking about the quadratic. Let's go ahead and get into our race reviews and start with Atlanta, just because it was fire. So if you guys did not, as Dale Jr. said, this was awesome.
This is awesome.
This is awesome.
This is awesome.
in all actuality, this was the best racing I have seen at Atlanta with the new package, the new setup on the track. This race was good. And I am sad that it got abbreviated, it got abridged. Atlanta was incredible. These drivers went out every single lap and raced like it was the last because we had the threat of weather. Right when we crossed lap 130, the race became official, and I was there were strategies beyond belief. I mean, you had JJ Yaley, Michael McDowell, drivers that were not on the same strategy as everyone else, up front pushing their cars to try to get a good finish. Michael McDowell did 160 laps.
That's insane.
At Atlanta without going and getting fuel. That's insane. The dog, you know what I mean? And it resulted well for him. He ended with a P4 finish. Now, a lot of people will say that this race kind of did not end in the perspective that the way they wanted, because the driver that won is a driver that we've already seen won 3 times this year. And of course, that is the 24 of William Byron, who, I believe Jay had as his champion. So William Byron and a guy I had not making the playoffs anyway. But I have to say that just because I'm an idiot. But William Byron, he drove a clean race, drove a good race, and then got his 4th win of the season. However, if that race would have gone a couple more laps, that 99 car was probably going to pass the 24. He was setting up.
Brad Keselowski was getting back up.
Brad Keselowski was up there with new tires. He ended up finishing 6th, I believe. It was some good racing. And not just in the Cup Series, but also in the Xfinity Series. We saw the Colleague cars dominate both races. We saw Justin Haley, AJ Allmendinger, Chandler Smith, Daniel Hemrick. They all ran well this weekend. And so shout out to Colleague. The Chevys looked great out there. The Fords qualified well. Toyota was always up there racing. The 2311 cars both looked fast. However, both of them did not have good results. Overall, I'd give this, if this race did not end because of rain, I think it would have been different, because they wouldn't have been racing as hard as they were if there wasn't a threat of weather. Right. So I think
it made it a lot more intense.
Yeah. And Junior was talking about how he has changed his mind. He said if you want a first NASCAR race, he's not going to say Bristol night race anymore. He's going to say Atlanta. So like, that's cool. That's crazy that NASCAR, like, you did good.
It's a good track.
It's a good track, and I'm looking forward to Atlanta next
Super
season.
Speedway ass.
Yeah, Atlanta ass, you know. But it was a good weekend of racing, and shout out to William Byron on getting the win. John Hunter Nemechek won the Xfinity Series race, and then we also were at Mid-Ohio this weekend for the Truck Series, and Corey Heim brought home another win this weekend.
Time, baby.
Time. So, I mean, overall, I'd say a good weekend of racing from NASCAR. Let's go ahead and read the top 10 for the NASCAR Cup Series, which I tweeted out this top 10. And I said, imagine showing someone this top 10 4 years ago, because this is insane. William Byron gets the win. Daniel Suarez gets 2nd. AJ Allmendinger 3rd. Michael McDowell 4th. Kyle Busch 5th. Brad Keselowski 6th. JJ Yaley 7th. Incredible. 8th was Justin Haley. 9th, Ryan Blaney. And 10th, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Just show someone that top 10 years ago and tell me they wouldn't, or 4 years ago and tell me they wouldn't go crazy, because freaking JJ Yaley, Brad Keselowski in the 6, Kyle Busch in the 8, Daniel Suarez in the 99, they'd be like, what's happening? And like, it's insane. And I mean, shout out to everybody. Great race. Let's go ahead and read the point standings right now. We have a new playoff points leader, and his name is William Byron, new points leader. He leads Martin Truex Jr. by 21 points now. So the points are William Byron, Martin Truex Jr., Kyle Busch, Christopher Bell, Ross Chastain, Denny Hamlin, Ryan Blaney, Kyle Larson, Kevin Harvick, Joey Logano, Chris Buescher, Brad Keselowski, Tyler Reddick, Ricky Stenhouse, Daniel Suarez, and rounding out the top 16, Michael McDowell, who now leads Bubba Wallace by 3 points. Shout out to Mickey Dubs, because that man drove a good race. Yes, the 23 of Wallace was driving pretty clean until the end, but there are some drivers that have really fell off the cliff. Alex Bowman, this man is now 22nd in points, and I get that he had penalties and stuff, but 22nd in points. Chase Elliott 23rd. Corey LaJoie fell off a cliff now. He's in 24th.
Mm-hmm.
All these guys are pretty close together, but I mean, Ty Gibbs fell out of the points. He was 16th coming into this race and is now 19th. It's anybody, literally anybody in this, I would say the top 27. I'd say top 27 could go out there and win a race. And I say top 27 because Eric Almirola is in 7th, and we know where we're heading. So overall, good weekend of NASCAR racing. I mean, I'm sure you guys would agree. Overall, I would say it was
100%.
Yeah, but that's all I have for the NASCAR Cup Series. Jay, you want to talk about Silverstone?
Oh yeah, let's talk about it. The formulas. Starting off with F3, just to kind of review there. Franco Colapinto wins the sprint race, and Oliver Goethe, I don't know how you say that name, wins the feature race.
Yeah.
F2, Frederick Vesti wins the sprint race with P2 Theo Poucher and P3 Jack Doohan. Victor Martins wins the feature race with Zane Maloney P2 and Theo Poucher end up P3 after fighting back through the pack. After the reverse for the quality or whatever it is. So good for them. Points after Silverstone for F2. Frederick Vesti 135. Leads currently Topushare second 129, and third is Aumu Iwasa with 111. And if it was anybody taking that seat at AlphaTauri, that's who I would have given.
Oh,
it
I
to.
would agree.
But I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Iwasa has been out driving Lawson, and so I mean, plus it'd be cool to see two Japanese drivers driving for the same team. So
we are about to have a discussion.
But that's enough.
Sounds a lot.
But that's enough with F3 and F2. Going into the F1 race, we started off Lando skyrockets out into the lead. This McLaren car is looking insane here lately after a very bad start to the season. And the crowd goes absolutely bonkers for Lando getting the lead, especially because it's Silverstone home race. Eventually, Max, of course, overtakes him. I didn't get to see the middle portion of the race because I was at my cousin's baseball game. Did the lead ever get bigger than like 4 or 5 seconds? Or was
no, I think he one time stretched it to 7, but then Lando was better in some corners than Max, and so
Okay.
I mean, it was consistently those 3 cars, and it was. I mean, until the safety car happened, of course. I mean, it was consistently Verstappen, Norris, and Piastri, and it was just those 3. Piastri and Norris never switched, but like there were some parts where just Norris was better, and there were some parts where Verstappen was better.
Right. Yeah, and so basically coming to the end of the race, it ends up with 2 Brits on the podium, finished second and third. Lando and Lewis. Max, of course, wins again. So
6 in a row for Max, 11 in a row for Red Bull.
Yeah, insane, absolutely insane. But let's start off with some questions. So was McLaren in the right to pull Piastri from Alpine? Like, was this a good move for them after just kind of looking at his performance this season? Was this a good idea for McLaren to like basically steal Piastri?
Oh, I mean,
Alpine's
I
wins?
think he's the best rookie in years.
Yep.
I don't think that's a hot take.
Yeah.
He's the best rookie in years, probably since Leclerc.
Maybe.
Uh,
I mean that
yeah.
whole era of those rookies like Sainz and all them and Lando coming in and all them. I think that's probably the best rookie era. But I say since then he's probably the best rookie in my opinion. So
it's pretty good. I mean, go get your talent there, Zach Brown. I think Zach Brown's only mistake this week was putting Lando on hards. But I mean, like,
and even then, it wasn't that bad of a decision in the end.
it's true.
yeah, it worked out. I mean,
Yeah.
I was the one person who was like, I think Oscar is gonna step in and do better than Denny Rick.
Mm-hmm.
I think he kind of has. I'm not gonna
He
lie.
is. I mean,
Oh,
he's consistently
easily.
finishing. I mean, he's consistently finishing 8th to 11th, and last year Ricardo was finishing 11th to 14th. So I mean, like,
It also helps that he had very low expectations because McLaren kind of sucked last year.
yeah,
it's true.
But he also had
like-
high expectations because a lot of like people that
As F2
like
champion.
Yeah.
and a lot of people that like Daniel Ricciardo or just McLaren in general were very judgy of him coming in.
The 3 stands are about
But
to go
also,
crazy though. at Hungary.
Everybody hated Danny Rick last season because he was just bad.
Yeah,
He also took out Magnussen, and so people
Yeah.
hated him for taking out Magnussen.
at Brazil.
I don't know who
Yeah,
hated him
Justin
for
hated
taking out
him.
Magnussen.
I don't know who that could have been.
I like
It was
Daniel
at-
Ricciardo.
It was at Brazil. I remember that. I remember you.
Yeah,
I
it's
remember,
not
I remember
Paulo.
you getting upset about that.
Because then Russell ended up winning, which I was cool about, but
Yeah.
still mad.
Next on the list. So, can we call Albon the new Mr. Saturday? It was previously George Russell for qualifying. Are we going to start calling Albon the new Mr. Saturday? Because I think he's kind of deserved the title at this point.
I'm just saying, Albon's
probably.
contract expires after next season. If I'm Red Bull Racing, I am either taking him or I'm taking Alex Palou or Lando Norris for that seat.
I did
That's what I'm saying.
see. I did see a report on Fastest Pit Stop that Helmut Marko said, "I think Alex Albon has made major improvements. It's just unfortunate his contract ends in 2020 at the end of 2024." So
Yeah,
Mm.
but it's not unfortunate because they just said that Checo Perez is coming back next season. So, I mean, you weigh your options. I mean, who's going to Red Bull in 2025? Unless Checo somehow wins the championship, I think he's gone. So
I think Albon's gonna go to Ferrari. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Albon.
I
to
would
Ferrari.
like to
And
see
Sainz
that. To
goes
You
be
think he's
honest.
going to replace Sainz? Sainz goes to Red Bull.
Yep.
Interesting. Well,
Oh.
when doesn't Sainz contract expire at the end of 2025?
Yeah.
So who's so in 2025? Who's going to be the driver? Because Sainz contract expires at the end of 2025, unless he gets bought out. Do you think he gets bought out?
No, it's at the start of 2025. I thought.
I can't remember, but
I'll do mid-pod research.
yeah, that's fine.
But,
But I think the Red Bull seat is between Norris and Albon, in my opinion,
the Red Bull seat
for 2025.
Norris, that'd be a terrible. I hate that. That would be a terrible move for Norris. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like I feel like
You
that
think
would
Norris
ruin-
waits for the Mercedes seat?
No, I don't even. I think he stays with McLaren, his whole career.
Well, where does Pilot go?
AlphaTauri.
Yeah, but I think here's the thing about Alex Pilot. I don't think he wants to go to AlphaTauri, but I think he wants to go to a team that he's going to go in and win at. You can't go in and win at AlphaTauri. He sees the results right now. He's not going to go from being an IndyCar champion
Yeah.
2
to
times in
going
3
to
years.
a back marker. It's just not going to happen. So I think
The contract will end. Well, it'll be at least the end of 2024.
okay. So
That's what I was
At
thinking.
least.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's like options or anything in there,
Yeah.
but
That's what I was saying. I was like, I'm pretty sure it ends at 2024, beginning in 2025. So that's why I'm saying I think Sainz is gonna go to Red Bull, and then I think that who did I just say is gonna go to Albon goes to Ferrari. Yeah.
Albon.
yeah,
And
But-
I mean,
but
I
personally,
could even,
yeah.
I could
Go ahead.
even see Pilot going to McLaren as a second driver.
yeah, that's why. Well,
What
behind
seat would open up though?
Piastri? You
Norris.
think Piastri?
Where do
You
you,
just
think
said
Norris
Norris.
goes?
Where do you think Norris goes?
He stays with McLaren,
So where does Piastri?
So
go?
he replaces Piastri.
probably. I mean, if Piastri's doing good enough, I mean, if Norris doesn't get the call to Mercedes, then
And I think
Piastri-
2025 is going to be a big year because I think we'll see Hamilton retire, not at the end of this season, probably at the end of next season. I think Norris's contract expires at the end of 2024. I think we see Norris go to Mercedes. I think we see Albon probably go to Red Bull. I think Sainz probably is going to re-sign with Ferrari. And then we see Pilot go to McLaren after he drove with, I bet you that Pilot goes to AlphaTauri next season just to race the one season, and then we see Pilot go to McLaren in 2025, and then he runs full time, and then I mean by that time maybe Pato's in F1 as well. I mean you never know at this
I
point.
doubt it.
Yeah, probably.
Maybe
I doubt
Andretti's in F1 because Andretti wants
That would be
2025.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be cool. Next up, after that discussion, so Albon is the new Mr. Saturday. Is that what we're determining?
Yeah,
We
agreed.
kind of got
Easily.
off track, but yeah.
Sorry.
okay, cool. No, we're good. Aston is slowly falling back to the middle of the mid pack. Will they rebound? They had a very hot start.
Aston,
They had a very hot start, and it looked very promising.
did.
But it's starting to go back to that Aston way now, in my
Yep.
opinion. So
I agree.
Yeah.
I do think they are going to figure it out. And I think at least Alonso will probably get back to the podium because right now he's kind of running 7th, which is consistently where he ran at Alpine.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
maybe he's overdriving the car right now, or maybe he was overdriving the car for the beginning of the season.
yeah.
But
And now he's just trying to overdrive a bad car.
yeah, but I guess we'll see. I don't know. I mean, Stroll sucked this weekend, so I mean, like you compare the two. I mean,
Mhm.
yeah, Lance Stroll literally can't get kicked out of his seat,
Yeah.
but he should.
Daniel.
I feel like they could recover, but I'm not gonna like bet my money on it because I don't know. I feel like the mid pack is starting to get very even to the point where pretty much anybody could be in that 3rd to 4th to 5th category, depending on the track, depending on the package that each team brings to each track.
Right.
So I don't want to like say I'm confident in them keeping that momentum to bring it back, but I wouldn't count it out. I don't know. I'm conflicted on it because McLaren sucked at the beginning of the year, and then this past weekend they looked good. But I'm not confident that McLaren's all of a sudden the 2nd or 3rd best team. So it's like I think it's simply just like a depends on the weekend thing. I really don't know how else to put it.
Yeah, I get it. I just think that it's just Aston. Honestly, this is kind of.
Mm.
I think they're just kind of going back to the old ways. They haven't really brought a lot of new like performance upgrades.
And didn't they say they were going to have a performance upgrade a couple of weeks ago? Am I making that up? Or
I think that was Mercedes.
No, I think Aston.
because
they
said that they were going to be on pace with Red Bull, and then that never happened.
Yeah,
So, I mean,
that did not happen at all. So
Ain't gonna happen.
it ain't gonna happen. And final question before I read off the top 10 and points and all that good stuff. So, should we call this the Shakira effect if Lewis podiums again while she's at a race? Because it happened at Spain.
All I want to say is that I know I didn't pick Lewis. I said that Mercedes was going to do a podium, and Jay called me crazy. So, I mean, like...
Bro, but, like, if you look at Austria, bro, they were butt cheeks. Like... Like straight butt cheeks.
But again, I think it's a week-to-week basis for like every team that's not Red Bull.
You can't do that in F1 though, man. Like
I'm not saying you should. I'm just saying
man. You can't play with my.
I'm just saying this season's been a little weird when it comes to the mid-pack.
But yeah, I don't know. But do we call it the Shakira effect if she's at another race and Lewis podiums again? Because she's there at Spain and she was there this past weekend and he podiumed at both of those races. I'm just saying.
I mean, I think Lewis could do well whenever, wherever, but with Shakira there, it doesn't make it worse.
Tristan,
I mean, maybe Lewis and Shakira. I mean, I know she has signal now, so I mean, I'm not gonna say anything, but maybe maybe it is the Shakira effect.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro. So you get it.
He might be making those hips don't lie. I'm just saying before and after every race.
Yeah, but I'm calling it the Shakira effect right now. I don't care.
I like it.
Yeah, I'm down to call it that.
Yeah. All right. So first after this race was Verstappen. He brought home the fastest lap. Also, Lando Norris second, P3 Lewis Hamilton fourth, Oscar Piastri fifth, George Russell sixth, Sergio Perez. 7th, Fernando Alonso. 8th, Alex Albon. 9th, Charles Leclerc. 10th, Carlos Sainz. Also, Ferrari dropping back a lot as well. I've noticed that too. They're kind of on their Aston stuff right now. But I do, Daniel, get ready to push your butt. And I do want to point out a guy who finished 11th this past weekend, Mr. Logan Sargent.
Who is it, Jay?
Hey, I honestly thought he was gonna get points, so I'm proud of him.
He was close.
It was close. I mean, 11th. That's not bad. Like we talked about.
He found out what a kilometer is.
Yeah, De Vries finished 17th.
Shout out.
Just saying. I mean, I guess Tsunoda did finish 16th this weekend, but that's fair. But I don't know. He was the last of the running cars, and he was 2 seconds off of Tsunoda. So. But yeah, that's your top 11. Let's go into constructor and point standings. Driver standings, Lewis Hamilton is leading right now. Second is Fernando Alonso. Third is Carlos. No, I'm just kidding. Max Verstappen first. Sergio Perez second. Third, Fernando Alonso. Fourth, Lewis Hamilton. Carlos Sainz, George Russell, Charles Leclerc, Lance Stroll, Lando Norris, and Esteban Ocon is your top 10. Constructors is Alpine is your leader. Just kidding. Red Bull Racing leads. Mercedes second. Aston third. Ferrari fourth. McLaren overtakes Alpine for fifth. So
here we go.
Yeah.
And Jay, if you don't mind, before we go into predictions, if we could go back to the main screen so we can talk a little bit about SRX.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you guys did not know, the Superstar Racing Experience, the Camping World Superstar Racing Experience, is returning this weekend, or actually this week, on Thursday night. Really exciting. I just wanted to read who is going to be racing, because I mean, it's a bigger roster. There's a lot more drivers in this year, but there's more full-time drivers. There's more part-time drivers. It's going to be exciting. So the full-time drivers, just so you can, keep this in your mind, guys. Full-time. Marco Andretti, Haley Deegan. As of right now, still, Ryan Hunter-Reay. That could change just because of his new IndyCar contract. But as of right now, it's still Ryan Hunter-Reay. Brad Keselowski, Bobby Labonte, Ryan Newman, Ken Schrader, Tony Stewart, and Paul Tracy. Those are the full-time drivers. And then this weekend at Stafford, we will see Clint Boyer, Denny Hamlin, Kevin Harvick, and Tony Kanaan all run races. So that's really exciting. And then other part-time drivers include Castroneves, Ron Capps, Kyle Busch, Greg Biffle, Austin Dillon, Casey Kane, Matt Kenseth, Joseph Newgarden, and Daniel Suarez. Also, Kenny Wallace and Ernie Francis Jr. are both going to do a race. But I mean, that's pretty cool. It's a loaded roster of legends in NASCAR. It's in IndyCar. It's really cool that it's all coming together. And personally, I'm excited for this weekend at Stafford Speedway. If you guys have not checked in, Thursday night on ESPN, not ESPN2, main ESPN. On Thursday night. Thursday Night Thunder's returning. I am excited. I am ecstatic, and I am ready for it to happen. But anyway, that's all I wanted to talk about.
You know what I'm excited about?
What?
After the races, they're going to have the drivers be interviewed by Scott Van Pelt.
Oh,
pretty
I'm hyped for that. I love Scott Van Pelt.
What were you about to say, Jay?
I was gonna say, are you still going to see Casey Kane in person?
I am still planning on going to Berlin to go see Casey Kane race.
Okay.
So
Isn't it sold out?
Not Berlin. Berlin's not sold out yet. If I remember right, I don't believe Berlin's sold out yet. If not, I will apply for media creds and they'll have to let me go.
Berlin Raceway is sold out.
No, it's not.
On their website, it says sold out.
It's fine. We'll find a way. We'll find a way. I'm gonna get in.
Sneak him in.
I'll be fine.
We're gonna get in, but
We'll find a way.
let's go into predictions.
Let's do it.
Yeah. Oh wait, that's that phone screen. Sorry, guys. All right, so we're here now. Why are you not? There you go. Sorry. Okay, so last week, our guest predictor got 2 correct. I mean, she got Max, of course, correct.
Yeah.
But she
Shout
got
out
Corey Heim at Mid Ohio in the rain correct
That's a
in
poll.
the Truck Series.
Shout out to Kalen Feezer.
That's pretty sick. I'm not gonna lie to you.
That's pretty good. That's a pretty good call.
That was
So
a good call. I couldn't believe it. I was like, "Are you serious?" Like, dang. I was like, "Okay, surprising." Tristan got a point for William Byron winning at Atlanta after the rain washed it all out.
and also for Max
Super Max. Yep. We all got 1 point for Max. And we all missed our group pick by Greg Van Alst. So,
However, he might have another shot this weekend because he is, just as this episode, I did miss this news. He is filling in for Jeffrey Earnhardt this weekend, who will not be with the team. So, Greg Van Alst is going to be running again this weekend. So maybe he'll get redemption. You never know.
nice, hopefully. But yeah, let's clear it out. Let's go on to this week. Where are we going to start?
Let's introduce our guest predictor. So he is in the chat right now.
Yes, sir.
Devontae Whitehead, who is a host of a new podcast, the Victory Lane Vibes podcast. If you, it's a new NASCAR podcast. Check it out. It's pretty good. I gave it a listen today on their newest episode. So yeah, go ahead and check that show out. But he is going to be picking today for our guest predictions.
All right. So where do we want to start?
I think it's only right to start with SRX just because it's back and that's the first race we're going to have. And I mean, this episode's going to go live right before the SRX happens. So, I mean, like that only goes first. He personally, Devontae is picking Tony Stewart to win at Stafford. So, I mean, that's a good pick. He originally wanted to pick Ernie, but I had to tell him that Ernie wasn't racing this weekend. So sorry, Devontae, but I mean, as a man that saw Ernie Francis Jr. win in person,
yeah,
he's a pretty cool person to watch win.
Yeah. All right. Next.
All right. So
our predictions or?
Yeah, we can do next. So there actually is no Indy next race this weekend.
No, I meant like next. Like, are we doing our predictions?
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, we can do ours first. That works.
You're good.
If I had to pick a driver to win this weekend, I'm gonna go Ryan Newman. I think that'd be a good one.
Took my pick.
It was between Ryan and Brad Keselowski, and I went Ryan Newman.
Rocket Man. Why is this typing like this? It's actually
All the time you have to do the spaces.
All the time you want to leave the space. All right, Daniel, your turn, brother.
Which part-time drivers are doing this week? Remind me again.
Part-time drivers this week. Let me go back to that screen. Sorry, I'm not on that screen.
They don't do a well enough job of putting out who's doing each race.
Yeah, they don't. I had to go to Wikipedia to look. Part-time this week includes Clinton Boyer.
I'm going Denny Hamlin.
Denny Hamlin, Kevin Harvick, and Tony Kanaan.
Give me Harvick. Give me Happy. I don't know. I was gonna pick Newman, and then I was gonna pick Hamlin, and then you guys both took it. So
that's why I called out Denny Hamlin, because I knew you probably.
Does this mean can I call Cup for New Hampshire first?
Sure, if you want.
Sure.
It's only fair. It's only fair.
All right, where are we going to next, Tristan? IndyCar.
Let's do IndyCar next. Devontae's picking Alex Palou. So
Alex Palou.
got
his
Palou.
second pick.
He did not give me a second pick, but I'm sure he can put it in the chat. I forgot that there was 2 picks for IndyCar, so I know he's in the chat right now. So he could just give us an extra IndyCar driver, whatever, Devontae. Then I could go to mine next since we're at Toronto. I'm gonna go Scott Dixon as my first pick, just because it's Scotty D in Toronto.
Yeah, you can't beat
And then my second pick, I will go just because he hasn't gotten a win in a couple weeks. Give me Joseph Newgarden.
Okay.
Yeah.
Joseph Newgarden. Okay. Daniel.
Give me Alex Palou.
Yeah.
And then give me. Do I go the same Mid Ohio picks? Do I spice it up? Herta did well last year. Give me Pato. Pato's been a little too quiet lately.
Here comes Pato. For me, I'm gonna go Alex Palou. I don't care. I'm sorry, I'm copying you.
Yeah. No, understandable.
He's the max right now. I mean, I didn't pick him just because I think Scott Dixon is going to have a better car. And also, it's Scott Dixon at Toronto. So, I mean, like.
Right. But I think my second pick, I'm going to go with. Kyle Kirkwood.
Okay.
Not bad. I mean, street course.
Kirk.
Yeah.
I mean.
Oh, shoot. I won a street course without picking an Andretti? How dare I?
You did. Dan.
It's not going to be Grosjean. Grosjean will find a way to hit the wall.
Yeah, for real.
Devontae has not put a second.
It's all good. We can just move on to the Xfinity Series, NASCAR Cup and Xfinity, guys. We are at New Hampshire. For Vontae, he's picking JHN to repeat this weekend, back to back.
Okay. Do you want to do Cup now or?
Yeah, we can do his Cup pick just because I have it. He's picking Bell and Wallace. So I mean, 2 drivers that are both good at New Hampshire. I mean, Bell obviously won last year. Wallace, I believe, finished 3rd here last year. So I mean, good pick.
Okay.
I had pulled up. He did, yeah.
All right, Daniel.
I kind of forgot he did well last year here.
Daniel, you said you're going first for the NASCAR pick, so.
Yeah. Okay. Let me look at Xfinity. Who's doing? Give me.
The 10 car is going to be Austin Dillon this week. That was
I'm
just
not
announced.
picking him.
That was announced during the show.
Give me Sheldon Creed.
That's a good pick.
And then for Cup, give me Bell. And give me Truex.
And TJ.
Jay, I'll let you go first.
Okay. For Xfinity, I think I'm going to go with the Indy boy himself, Chris Hacker. No, I'm just playing.
Hey, no, low key though. The last time he ran this race, he did pretty well. He got.
But I'm not picking him to win. I'm sorry.
No, definitely not. I don't.
Be for real. Be for real, Tristan.
But I'm gonna go with Cole Custer.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with
Happy
Cole
glass
Custer.
shatters.
Yeah.
That makes me mad. I had this whole bit prepared for me about to pick Cole Custer.
Oh dang. Yeah, it's Stone Cold.
Did you hear it?
Yeah.
So for my Cup picks, I'm gonna go Kyle Busch,
Okay.
and I'm gonna go.
Eric Almirola.
I was thinking that because he's kind of
Yeah,
like he's like Kurt
good at
Busch.
this track.
You always have the one-off Eric Almirola win or like pole every season.
I mean, he
We
just
already
had
had
a
the
pole.
poll.
He literally just had.
Yeah.
And actually, he's had 2 polls this year, which is kind of weird. So
Really? I didn't
yeah,
know.
he had a poll earlier in the year, I believe, at Kansas, right?
Maybe.
I don't
can't
remember.
I think my next pick, I'm gonna go with. I'm probably gonna hate myself. Honestly, this is looking kind of a veteran track. I'm gonna go with Kevin Harvick.
That's a good pick.
Tristan.
I'm also going with a veteran for my first pick, except it's a veteran that hasn't won this year. I mean, Harvick hasn't won either, but he's due. And he kind of got robbed out of a win last week. So just go ahead and put the 6 car up there for me.
Okay.
Brad, I got an RFK. I think it's going to be an RFK car that wins this weekend, but I'm going to put Brad. So Brad's my first pick. And then my second pick, I'm going to go Tyler Reddick, just because I think he needs some redemption.
Okay.
Yeah.
Xfinity.
And Toyota. Oh, yeah. Sorry. Xfinity. Sorry. Give me a sec. Oh. Thank you. Just put him down there.
That's funny. We need to make that.
I got one
We
win.
actually need to make that.
Then I got another win.
Oh,
Then
I'll
I
make
got
that a
another
sound.
win.
I'll make the glass break a sound for next week.
We have to make that a sound. And what's our group pick? Did Devontae give us a group pick?
You did not. But group pick this week. Should we go SRX just because it's nice that it's back?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
I think a good group pick, just because he's running this week and we don't get to hear his beautiful voice on Fox, I think we go Clint Boyer. I think that'd be pretty fun.
Okay. I'm kind of fine with that.
Fine with it.
Daniel, hold on.
I'm
Daniel.
reluctant.
Daniel, do you have a nominee for your group pick?
I was going to say Tony Kanaan,
Uh,
the man himself.
But it's also XRX equipment, so you have to remember that Kanaan didn't really necessarily do the best in SRX equipment when he
And you
ran.
picked Clint Boyer.
That's
Brother.
true.
You ain't wrong.
So where are we going?
Wait a dang
Where are we
minute.
going? Where are we going?
Go TK if you want to. I mean, this is the
I'm
only
fine
race,
with whatever.
I think Boyer is running. So I was like, but I'm cool with TK if you want to go TK.
We're gonna go.
You know that Kyle
Larson kid.
Okay, I'm fine with it.
We're going Clint Boyer.
I'm fine with it.
Just for the memes.
But if TK wins, Daniel, you get a point.
Let's go.
Set it in stone.
I'll
We'll
mark it
count
down.
that. We take those.
TK wins. SRX. Dan gets +1.
There we go.
All right.
That's all the picks.
That's
those are your
7-Eleven's
picks.
bonus.
Yeah. There's your picks. There's Vontae's picks. Christopher Bell, Bubba Wallace, John Hunter Nemechek, Alex Pillow does not have a second pick for IndyCar, unfortunately, and he's going with Tony Stewart for SRX. Here's our picks: Brad Keselowski, Tyler Reddick for Tristan, Cole Custer, Scott Dixon, Justin Newgarden, and the Rocket Man Ryan Newman. Daniel, Christopher Bell, Martin Truex Jr., Sheldon Creed, Alex Pillow, Pato Ward, and Happy Mr. Harvick. And then my picks: Kyle Busch, Kevin Harvick, Cole Custer, Alex Pillow, Kyle Kirkwood, and Denny Hamlin for SRX, with our group pick being Clint Boyer. Should we close this one out, sirs?
I think we do, sirs.
Let's do it, sirs. Let's do it, sirs.
Thanks for listening to the IBRP, man, from Indy Boys Productions. It's lit over here. Check out all of our social medias, guys, at Indy Boys Podcast on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Threads. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. I'm still getting used to saying Threads. Subscribe to the YouTube channel down below. We've grown a lot over the last couple of months, and it's really cool, but we have a goal of hitting 500 subscribers by the end of the year. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below. Go ahead and rate us 5 stars on all of our podcast platforms, and we'll see you guys next week. Hopefully, we can have some happy glass breaks. I'm Tristan Grider, Daniel Chaney, and Justin Cox. Have a good one. Peace.